Well, hello. My name is Marty Jane, and I would like to welcome you to the first video of my Grow Diary series. Today, I am going to be setting up my brand new Grandma's Secret Garden grow box. I just bought this thing on Dealer.com, so if you're looking for a setup video that explains the box a little bit better from like a real customer's point of view, like I've never gone through this thing and I'm gonna be opening this stuff for the very first time, stay tuned for the rest. I will give you my very best. Let's look inside. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the box here and start opening some things, and I'm gonna do my best to explain these things as I go along. I'll go through some of the instructions that I find in here and try to just give you the full overview of like what I have and like what I'll be doing. So let's start here with our Mars Hydro. And to read this upside down like I did earlier, this is the Mars Hydro T56100 LED G. LED G. Now I will say, when I asked about like model updates and lighting stuff, Albert and the guys over at Dealers, they said that there would be, you know, sometimes lights get better, like products grow, like there's going to be new editions of this box coming out like in the future. Like this isn't the like final thing, so this might not be the forever light. So say, look, stuff happens, but this has a warranty. I think the lights, you send it back and then it'll go through Deals, or they'll go through the manufacturer. Check with them to be exactly sure how long you have, but I think they'll send you like the newer version of the light if like this one's no longer going. So they have your back, which that's what you need. You're spending hundreds of dollars. This was a $1,000 purchase. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop yakking and dive in. Could have been cutting here. We'll start here. Box. Now it's nice and light. I can easily, you know, grab this with one hand pretty much, but be careful. It is a light. LED. All right. The nice thing is it is pre-attached here, as you can see. And so they've run it through, there's a little, like a rubber, I don't know what you would call that, like a little kind of a stopper, then it goes through and it's like, it's pre-fit for multiple cords to squeeze through this, so they've saved you some of the work there. Let's open this up. Oh, okay, so right on top, we've got this user manual, and this will tell you, it says grow on Earth, grow with Mars. Miles parameter assembly instructions. So these will be your main wire attachments as we hook these up. Alrighty, and you got 1 and 2. Without further ado, we have, look at our light, it's so beautiful. Did you like that? Did you like that singing? Oh, what, dude, look at this. I had no idea. Look at these stickers. That's freaking, I have to show you these. Look at this one right here, Mars Hydro. I was just thinking yesterday, this grow box almost looks like a little, like a refrigerator. I'm gonna keep showing these while I'm showing. It almost looks like a little, like a refrigerator. You could put fake magnets or stickers on there and nobody would know what it is. Now, yeah, these do have plants on there. Don't get me wrong, like people aren't stupid, but if you're in like an apartment or something and obviously you're in a legal state, Leaf Stories does not condone the growing of illegal drugs, so check your local laws and all that stuff. I'm here in Colorado, which is, I mean, federally it's not legal, so they could still kick down my door too if they wanted to. They got the power, but Colorado-wise, I feel good. Now, your Mars Hydro, all of these LEDs, and I think there's an exact number that's on here, the exact number of lights, and it's on their website. I just couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I apologize. But we have so many LEDs here that it's going to get tons. Get off of there. Get out of here. Just tons and tons of lights. I'm going to bring that around here. Isn't that a nice reflective material? This will help. The reflective material helps within the box to broadcast light. It really, it has to be bright in there. It's going to be. Now, we'll get this box out of the way. All right. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Marty Jane, and I am from LeafStories.com. Let's keep going. Let's go ahead and just put these on live speed. Yeah, this is all real time. Now you're probably sitting there watching. Could be on the couch just chilling. Could be at work killing time. Good job if you are. now we've got our 2 hooks hooked up, and I'm kind of gonna show you in the shot here, but this will be hanging like this. So now we've got our Mars Hydro lights, and that is attached. I will have to cinch this around to even it up a little bit later, but just to give you the pure example, like there it is in our box underneath, and these pretty LEDs will be shining down here, and I have my reservoir right over there, and we're gonna continue this in a few more steps. I realized that I was so excited about this Mars Hydro that I forgot to mention, a surge protector comes in here, so you've already got that covered. There are like 5 or 6 plugs that I can already count, so you need that right away. This is what I really truly wanted to show you here, and this will be the middle segment of the video, but I did this at the end, so some of the stuff is from later. It's a pretty easy to use light timer. It's gonna be, depending on which cycle you're in, follow the instructions. It's typically a 12-12 or an 18-6, but follow the instructions. Dealser has a link in the instructions to Grandma's Secret Garden, a video for, like, look up this brand if you have to on YouTube on how to use this, and these actually will go down based on how they're gonna go. So I'm gonna show you that here in a sec, but just watch those videos as well to make sure you have your light cycle timer down. Alrighty, let's open this bad boy up. This is our light timer, and you know what? Some of those Mars Hydro lights will actually come with like timers and things, or like switches, but for this purpose, this Mars Hydro right up here, it does not have, there are no switches, there are no buttons. It's super duper simple. All you have to do is master the timer, and it's a pretty thing on, and you have your option to have it timer on or like your outlet on, because you can actually plug something in here, and I don't think I'll be doing that because I have the surge protector. But the way that I understood that this works, it says right in the middle, pins down equals on, pins up equals off. So if I wanted my, say, to start at 1 p.m. at night, I think they said you have to use a pin. Oh, okay, so these, look at that, they're all down. I was wondering, I was like pushing, I was like, man, am I not strong enough to push down this little plastic thing? No, I go to the gym. I should at least be able to do this just because my bench isn't that high. Okay, now you see that the pins are up, they are off. So now let's try this. You would start at, what we got here? That's 12 noon, right? So 12 noon is down. And I want this to turn off at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So from 12 to 12, that is your 12-hour light cycle, right? Those instructions that I told you to find on YouTube, definitely watch those. It's gonna tell you to push all these down as well. And that way it knows to stay up through the majority of that time. That's a funny 3 there, that's fine. It still went down okay. And now, and you wanna make sure that you still have like all 12, it should be like half and half for the 12-hour cycle. You can pull it up pretty easy. Yeah, cool. It's a great little timer, but learn how to use it from somebody who like for sure knows what they're saying. So I'm gonna pull these back up and we will move on to the next segment in this video. All right, next let's have a look at the submersible pump 160. Now, as you can see, it is already attached and it goes through. It's kind of like a foamy rubber thing to keep these cords nice and organized. Dealser, they pre-assemble these cabinets ahead of time to help you out with that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead, and it says this baby can do 172 gallons per hour. It's good, ideal for ebb and flow or the drip hydroponics systems. It's BPA free, perfect for indoor and outdoor, so that's a really good thing. And you've got everything you need in this box. So let's open it up and have a look. Alrighty. Oh, look at this, look at this. The pump does not run. Cause, symptom, like you got your solutions here. Multiple, and this I guess is the same instruction kit for a lot of these kits. These pumps here, muffler, air valve, aeration kit, cool. And this gives you an actual breakdown of how this whole thing works and like all the pieces. So if you're very mechanical, which I'm not, I told you I worked at like a warehouse store and it didn't go well. Cause I'd be there at like 6 in the morning, you know, and these like contractors come in and ask for a 2-inch 4-bit this or that. And I'm like, sir, I have no idea what that is. So I'm gonna go ahead and see, what do we have all in here? Alrighty, I've done a little bit more research on my own. I read further into the instructions provided by Dealser here, and this is where the confusion came, because I saw this picture in the manual and I was like, man, like this was the manual from the pump here, and I thought, what am I supposed to do with this? Where does this connect to where does that go? And I got really confused. The problem I did not just follow these instructions, just following it down. So I'm gonna read them from the top, like out loud, and you'll see exactly what's going on here, and I'll explain exactly where I'm at in this process. So, step 1, put the empty reservoir with the lid at the bottom of the grow box. Put net pots with starter plugs into the holes of the lid. Starter plugs should be slightly damp but not soaked. Fill your reservoir with clean water up until it is 1/2 inch below the net pots. Let's talk about this really fast. This is your reservoir, and up here, you're going to see like a little bit of in this corner here, you've got a little bit of, and it looks like they self-cut into this. So this was homemade for sure, made with love by the good people out there in Kentucky. It's a very nice family. Like I am all about family business. Like getting into the cannabis industry, I worked for a corporation and they plain don't care about you as much, just trust me. So find those family operations. This is one of them, Dealser.com. Anyways, they have your lid here, and the lid will go, and there's actually a tube right here. So one is for your electrical outlet here, and then the other one is going to be for your air tube, which I'm going to explain in a minute. So the goal is to fill this up. Now for these instructions, I have not officially gotten my seeds in the mail, so I'm going to show you how to do this without the use of water. It's not going to be much different, but this is how we're going to do this. Let's talk about this pump first, because I totally got lost. Now, it came along with a little package that looked like this. There were like 3 things, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on here? I realized that if I read the instructions, it said this next step. So let's go to we're gonna skip a little bit ahead here. It says step 3, put the water pump into reservoir. The wire of the water pump threads through an opening made on the corner of the reservoir itself. If you see a clear tube, yep, I saw the clear tube. This is what messed me up. If you see the clear tube, toss that to the side. It is not used at all. The thick black pump, this final tube here, it is used like once a week in order to change out the water and nutrients. And that was kind of a curiosity of mine. I'm like, how am I gonna lift these plants out of here without, like, I don't know, hitting the light up there or something like that, something crazy. So this was made much easier when I actually read the instructions. So that's my dumb thing for the day. And why I was like, man, there's so many extra wires and tubes, but follow these instructions, you can get a little better. Step 2, attach skinny black vinyl tube to metal tip at the bottom of the air pump, which, give a little better view here. Come on. There is our air pump. Now what we're gonna do is they provided a skinny black tube right here. It's one of the things that came in my reservoir box. And go ahead and just slide it. There's a little hole right there. Slide it right into this little thing here. And there's just a little hole. Right, kind of, you know how rubber tubes are, you wiggle it on there. This is your air pump, right? Now, it's not just going to be blowing bubbles into your, it's not totally like a fish tank. Down here, there are 2 of them actually. The first thing I thought when I saw this was, oh, it's like chalk. I can, mark on the wall with the plants that get higher like you did with your kids growing up. And you're like, oh, I'm so proud. I'm such a proud mother. But no, these are air stones. I'm still learning here. I'm a professional in the cannabis industry. Like, I work commercially around Denver here, but these are all, there's so much in this industry. So this is an air pump included with the kit. This is going to go down into the reservoir. The tube can actually go, like I said, if you have a little shorter memory, this is what I showed you a minute ago. That little hole right there, and that hole is going to be at the same place that you've got the cut there for like the wire so that it'll all go out there and the wires will be nice and neat. This, again, is the submersion pump. And it's a cool little, and this is the, I believe it's the 160. So it's, you know, it's their smaller model. You don't need too much going on here. This clear tube, ditch that. You got two options here, these little black things. This was the one that I think it wanted me to go with. So we will just aim our television broadcast down here and go ahead and hook that up. Oh, it's going crooked. It's going crooked, boss. So you screw that in there. Self-explanatory. This is not rocket science. Like, this is going to be so awesome when you're all set up. You're going to feel so good about setting this up. This will be the part that hooks to your black tube, and eventually, like, it'll be the way that you get rid of like the junk out of there. Like, you'll get rid of the water. You'll pump that stuff out of there, right? We're going to talk about that later because A, I don't have water in my reservoir. B, there are no plants, like the seeds. Like, I'm still working on all that. We're kind of doing things in kind of a funny order, but it'll all be there by the end. We will grow some beautiful plants. Let's keep going. As we continue on, I am going to go ahead and bring the reservoir back into this show. And I think that I mentioned before, this particular example, it's not going to have the water just yet because I want to be able to lift it around and show you folks at home, but like, you get it. Something to keep in mind about the water. Now this, you want to use clean water. Like, you could use like filtered water. Some people are like, oh, there's like bottled water, but I believe you can buy, there is a process called reverse osmosis, and I couldn't tell you the total science behind it, but it's kind of a way to filter water. We had two massive tanks when I was working at the last place I was at before they fired me. Yeah, it was kind of a wild story. I'll tell you sometime. They used huge tanks of reverse osmosis water because it's supposed to be clean. There can be, like in my city, I'm north of Denver in a suburb called North Glen. Our water has like chlorine and different things still in the water. You can smell it, you can taste it. I know it's in there. I do not want that in here. So really think, where's your water going to be coming from? Is it filtered? I bet if you check like Amazon or somewhere, like they have like or like the little filtration systems, but you can just use water. You don't have to follow that. Like, beginners, don't fret about that. Just telling you now, like, the water it is a thing. I'm gonna try to center this, back this up a little bit to give you a little better view. Now, go ahead, take the lid off, easy remove lid. I did go ahead, the clay pebbles that were in here, where are those clay pebbles? These, I mean, they're clay pebbles. This is what they do. They're kind of like rocky and sandy. That's what they do. There was a decent amount of residue in here, along with in here, because this is what it ships in. That's kind of part of the deal. I highly recommend just washing this out like really, really well, because those could technically be considered, I don't think the clay pebbles would hurt it, but like less contaminants in your water, the better. So clean, pure water, clean your system out. I will be cleaning this a little bit better, but I'm showing you for the demonstration. Let's reach behind here and, oh, hello, our water pump. And I think this, like I said, this thing has the coolest little option for these feet here. You can slide the cord in and out of this. See this this rubber thing in the corner? Like, the cord will go in and out based on where you want to put that. I almost want to just put that right here. Just be as close as possible to the thing. We'll have as little wire in here as possible. We're going to put that through and just work the wire through slowly in the back. Okay, get a little closer to get a little better view. So now we're going to try to get it centered right underneath my Mars Hydro, right there. Cool how this feet there. I don't believe you like need this attachment in order to do like the tube cleaning, and my tube has gone over here. So this tube, when you actually go to like clean this out, it'll help you pump some of the junk out. So instead of having to like lift this out and like not spill water, and you'd totally spill water, I would. That's the problem. So your nutrients are going to be in here. I looked at the feeding schedule, and it's one of those things that said you're going to be doing, this is a little jump, but this feeding schedule, it's each of these application rates of what you're feeding it with your advanced nutrients kit. That is going to be per gallon of water. All right, more on that later. Now here's the funny thing. I didn't do this to myself right. My air stone is back here, but you can see that this tube isn't gonna totally fit back through that back there. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this through here, reattach my air stone to my wire. It's more like a tube, it's not a wire, it's a tube. And that'll go under there. That will create your air, and you've got that. And that'll be the box. Make sure that goes down. The lid can fully close thanks to that cut back here in this corner underneath. And you've got your grow box set up now. Alrighty folks, we are on to the next step. And I kind of did this out of order because I wanted to make sure you knew what was going to go down in there. I wanted to talk about the pump. I wanted to learn about the air pump myself. Like this is a learning experience for me. I don't pretend to be a pro of grow boxes. If you want to talk to the pros, talk to, Dealser.com. Go to their like good grow diary websites and all those types of things. Like the community is growing. It's just more of it's an emerging thing because it's been scary for a while. It was illegal for so many places for a while. Like it still is, and like federally in the United States, along with a chunk of our states are still working on this legalization thing, but they see Colorado making billions and billions of dollars. We have so many jobs. Like it's a different world here, folks. So let's talk about our net pots and putting them right in here. Now this is going to be your step one right up there. So put empty reservoir with lid at bottom of the grow box. Put the net pots with starter plugs inside the holes of the lid. Fill your reservoir with clean water up until it is 1/2 inch below the net pot. So it's almost going to be there. And then I noticed on the back, actually there's another guide that I have that goes with Grandma's Secret Garden, and it kind of talks about how you will put the seeds in there. And we're gonna do that in another video. Probably the next video that I do will have all of the seeding and things like that. Yeah, there we go. Because it's the germination phase. Your lights are gonna be off. It's gonna be in a dark room, and you will have like all this information. And I'm going to cover that in the next future video. But for now, let's go ahead and pretend like we're setting these up. We're growing today. All right. Oh, and look, aren't they freaking cute? You got a little bit of, kind of reminds me of like going to the swimming pool, like those chlorine buckets. Alrighty, and you have multiple, they're almost like little brownies. Like if I was, if I was consuming and I just didn't know, I'd be like, dude, is that a brownie? And so it's really easy here. As you can see, there's just a little tiny hole right there, and your baby seed's gonna go right down in there. You're gonna stick it down there far enough to the point where you can't see it anymore, and the roots will take. They should start to come out of here like these white long hairs. And so we just put this right in here in this net pot. Next step part of this process, now you can put it right here. Oh yeah, and you know what? They fit like a charm. It doesn't fit like so, it doesn't totally like, it's a nice snug fit. There's no question as to whether they're gonna slide around, because there's gonna be, it needs to be snug. There will be a heavy plant up here that's gonna weigh, I don't know, about a pound each. It depends on how tall they end up growing in here, but it feels like this is gonna be good. And now, along with that, there's more instructions. I'm gonna read about these clay pebbles. We're reading them kind of out of order here. Put clay pebbles on top of starter plugs in the net pots. They are meant to block the light from hitting roots, which is harmful for the roots. If those roots hit that light, we are gonna have a problem. So let's open these up. This is gonna be yeah, this is where my dirt came from. Just take there. Oh yeah, it's like a Ziploc baggie. Take a few. Oh cool, it's almost like, they're like cocoa pebbles for plants. Okay, so you take a few of these, right? And you're just gonna put them kind of on top here. And you will want to, it's nice and close there, you're gonna wanna cover these. So we're pretending a seed is in there, we're pretending the water is in there. This is just gonna go right down in here. And I think it would be, word to the wise, you're gonna want this in here first, as the instructions say. And this will be, and you cover them up there, like little, let's go a little closer. There we go. A little closer so you can kind of see what's going on here. And my last one, they're like little rocks, it's like clay. And this will keep, and you get a pretty decent amount of these, probably for multiple grows. And then it's just gonna sprout right out of there and you'll say, oh, look, it's a pretty flower. And it's just gonna, it will root out of here. And at that point, we're gonna talk about whether we can do some stress training options. So your plants will just be dangled right into the water, which is about a 1/2 inch below this. 1/2 inch, that's probably gonna be about here. This will get some dampness, but it's not gonna be totally submerged. That is our quick tour there. Okay, we are diving into the last segment of this video. Just a couple of other things that came within this box that I wanna talk about, along with just a little bit more information, and then we will send you on your way. And the next video is going to be, it might be a week from now or so that I physically make the video. So I did 2 in a row, and I'm gonna make one more about like the actual seeding process. I'm gonna talk about which seeds I chose, but I'm thinking Purple Sunset number 4, that is my jam. It just helps with so many ailments that I have. And remember, I don't make medical claims. I'm not a doctor. I don't run a leafstories.com. It's not a medical website. So this is one of the things that comes along with it. And one of the problems is people say,
but hey man, isn't it gonna smell like those plants? Yeah, it totally is, but only when you open the door. Otherwise, these odorizers are awesome.
Dealser has your back, because right back there you have your first, it's kind of got this fan goes to the back, and I kind of showed you the back earlier. I may go back around there one more time. And it has like a grid on back, but it's a carbon filtered fan. Like I can feel it, it's very skishy. Skishy is the word, and there's one more down there. And those fans, and it says so in the instructions, will not be on. There we go, we'll turn on the flicker light again. Those will not be on during germination. It's gonna be dark in there, you're not gonna open the doors. It's about a 48-hour process. This is the back. Sorry, it's kind of a wild view. It's a little dark because this light is getting kind of wild, but you get the idea. And the second piece is, this is like a fresh linen. It neutralizes odors naturally. Unplug it here, not unplug it, but unlid this. And I still have this on, but it smells like your grandma's doing laundry with Grandma's Secret Garden. Like they don't even know. So this is your neutralizer. I'll be straight with you though. You're gonna go to open this door, and that freaking sticky smell, especially when those plants are budding, it is going to hit you in the face. So really consider that. Like, is it just gonna be like totally obvious? But these neutralizers though, like you can grow in a place, just be low key about it, be smart about it. Do you wanna tell people? Do you wanna not tell people? I would keep it low key if I were you. Now let's talk one final thing that did come in the box, and this is, I know I talked about these a little bit already, but I wanted to show you just one more view in this video as well. These are the nutrients that you are going to be using. Alrighty, so this is micro, bloom, and you've got your grow. And there are instructions on the back. And this is the 3-part setup with this. So you have multiple things that you're going to be adding. Dealser went ahead and included a feeding schedule, which is right over here. I have so much stuff over here because they give you so many goodies. It's like opening, I feel like a kid in a candy store. Alrighty, you see that week 1, so you got your vegetative growth, and then it goes like each week, it kind of goes up and goes up and goes up. And those last couple of weeks, that is going to be your flushing period, and you're going to flush out all the junk, all the nutrients, all the salts, whatever got in there, and it cleans it out. Plus, it also forces the plants to kind of use up whatever's left, more in a soil grow than a hydroponics grow, but you won't be using any of the feeding stuff while you are doing germination. Germination is just the process of getting your little root to come right out of there and be like, and you're like, all right, you're ready to go. Then that is technically considered week 1. So follow these rules or you will regret it.
The great thing about this system is that it has an auto pH setting, so it's called pH perfect, and that means that you don't have to worry about these nutrients getting off balance. And I had that problem at a commercial warehouse where I'm constantly testing it with like a pH meter, but here, these things are gonna like do it for you, so you're good.
My name is Marty Jane, and I would like to thank you very much for taking the time to check out Grandma's Secret Garden. And we went through a lot of stuff today, and this was more of a setup video. Ask me questions in the comments and I might be able to answer it, but I may end up saying like, hey, check with the dealer. And there are links below. If you want to check out this thing, I have a full review of Grandma's Secret Garden, the actual specs at my Leaf Stories blog. That's leafstories.com. There's a link right down there, or you can check out the actual link to dealser.com. So it'll take you there. There are videos. There's a crazy cartoon with this grandma. I highly recommend you go see the cartoon. It's absolutely silly, but these are all your things. And thank you very much for watching this video from Leaf Stories. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is a grow diary. And what that means is I am going to be I'm debating on doing daily videos or not, because that gets to be a lot after a while, but I may at least have like, here's day 6, nothing happened. Here's day 7, nothing happened, into like smaller videos. So we're just gonna roll with it. But anyways, subscribe. I cannot wait to show you this little thing right here. In about 3 to 4 months or so, depending on curing and all that, this will have produced my favorite plant in the entire world, the plant that is changing the game, especially here in like Denver, Colorado. Like, come here if you haven't. Like, it's Amsterdam, baby. Well, we'll see you again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Leaf Stories. Bye now.